This is the Wavestorm 8-foot classic surfboard. Generous volume and boxy rail for great flotation and drive. Strong bolt-through symmetrical fin sets for stable turning and hold. Triple stringer system to give integrity and strength. High-density slick bottom to maintain rigidity. Tail pad for better back foot traction. And each board comes with leash. Patented UV-resistant soft graphic deck. Each board is constructed using heat lamination, meaning no harmful or toxic urethanes or resins. This is the Wavestorm 15th anniversary 8-foot surfboard. Generous volume and boxy rail for great flotation and drive. Strong bolt-through symmetrical fin sets for stable turning and hold. Triple stringer system to give integrity and strength. High-density slick bottom to maintain rigidity. Tail pad for better back foot traction. New multiple fin sets give you different performance options. And each board comes with leash. Patented UV-resistant soft graphic deck. Each board is constructed using heat lamination, meaning no harmful or toxic urethanes or resins.
Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Alex. I'm here with South Bay Board Company. I'm excited to share with you guys our 8'8" Heritage soft top surfboard. This is the 8'8" Heritage soft top surfboard. It's an absolutely awesome and very, very fun, easy surfboard to not only learn on, but also just to kind of go out casually with. It's by far one of my favorite surfboards here at South Bay, and let me explain to you why. The 8'8" Heritage is 104 inches long in total length, 23 inches wide at its widest point, and 3¼ inch thick at its thickest point. So just to reference that, the thickest point is going to be roughly about this center slice right here if you go straight down the middle of the board. And as you can see, the thickness of the board actually thins out towards the nose and towards the tail. Those are tapered rails. That's basically a performance feature on this board that helps those rails not only kind of transition into those turns on your drop-ins, but also helps those rails hold its edge on the face of the wave, giving you a nice, smooth, and easy, consistent glide with this soft top surfboard. This board also has 88 liters of volume stuffed into it. That is a ton of float for this big boy, and it's meant to help some of us larger surfers learn how to surf. All right, so as you can see with the shape of the 8'8", we have a relatively pulled in, more consistently pulled in tail here with our 7-foot ruckus shape. That's gonna give this board the release it needs in its turns. It's not gonna keep it too logged in the back. Not obviously focused on too much stability here because it's already a big, huge, massive board as is. So we just wanted to make sure that you could actually swing the thing around on turns and dial in some cross steps to get up to that nose. As we're working our way up, the board gets a little bit thicker. Here's gonna be roughly the widest point in the board is this upper chest section. That's gonna be where work chest basically lies, or most of our weight is dispersed, especially on paddling. We wanted to make sure not only was that wide to give you all that extra float, but it's also a lot more stable, especially for your front foot when you're first kind of learning how to surf. And as we get up to the nose, nice big rounded out nose. We didn't go too heavy around here just yet. We made that nose nice and easy and consistent to kind of give you that push, that upper nose rocker shape to keep the nose up out of the water, but enough basically width and thickness in there to give you that extra float. So when that wave does come through, your nose stays up and you get that extra float that you need to push into and glide and catch that wave. All right, so now let's talk about the top deck features and what's so unique about the top deck with this 8'8". Start right here with the tail. As you can see, we have the rubber bumper tail. This is an awesome feature that I think gets not a whole lot of praise, but basically you're gonna drop it down on its tail. And that rubber bumper is gonna help prevent that tail from just getting squished in or damaged. Most other soft tops don't have the rubber bumper, and you're gonna see, if you ever look at those, their tails are always crumpled up, their plastic gets open, and it basically just allows water to get inside. Now, as you'll see, we have our 3-fin setup. Here's your leash plug, okay? Pretty obvious what that is, that's where your leash goes. But this is gonna be your 3-fin setup. This is where your 3 fins are gonna go. Every single 8'8" Heritage is going to come with one 9-foot leash and one 3-fin set of universal soft top fins with screws. Our fin holes are actually PVC lined with plastic, so you don't have to worry about water getting inside. That's one of our luxury features on these boards. Now, as you work our way up the board, you're gonna see obviously right here is our awesome easy carry handle. Now, this easy carry handle is great because it just makes it that much more easy to carry these boards. Even for me, carrying it like this, it's tight, pushes up into your arm, it's not comfortable. I'm 6'2", got decently long arms. But just this carry handle, even for me, makes it that much easier. And then for kids, smaller adults, teenagers, or whoever, it it just makes it that much more bearable to carry this board around. All right, as we work our way up the board, get into our wider chest section, we have two of our awesome features here. Not as important is our rubber die cut logo. So we go with the rubber die cut logo basically for two reasons. One, we don't like how the screen print logos actually bleed out onto the board and into the ocean. We're not really down for those chemicals getting into the water. And the other thing is we don't like when the rubber logo smears onto our rash guards and our wetsuits. The most important feature on any of our premium beginner surfboards is our patented heat release valve system. This heat release valve system is absolutely crucial to keeping this board basically cool and preventing bubbling and delamination. You don't have to twist it or press it, it just naturally releases the buildup of heat from inside the board. It's an absolutely amazing preventer of delamination and bubbling, and that's why it allows us at South Bay to be able to use these darker colors like the blue or the black that this board's available in, and not have to worry about it delaminating or bubbling. Let's talk about some of the guts inside the 8'8" Heritage that truly makes it the most durable soft top surfboard at its size. So the 8'8" Heritage surfboard, as we talked about before, is built with an EPS closed cell foam core. EPS closed cell simply means it's closed cell, it's not going to take on water. We use a nice higher density EPS foam that gives the board a little bit more of that strength and rigidity. The other main features that makes this board durable is three things: the stringer system, the body armor, and the resin layers. So inside the board we have three stringers. We have two full length wooden stringers that run pretty much the entire nose to tail of this board. Then the most important stringer is our 2/3 length fiberglass rod stringer. That fiberglass rod stringer is a pretty thick stringer that's right there in the center 2/3 section, or the heavy impact zone for this board. Outside of our closed cell foam and our stringers is our bamboo body armor. There's literally a thin layer of bamboo on the top and a thin layer of bamboo on the bottom deck. That bamboo not only helps with heat damage prevention, it's a great insulator, pushes the heat out, it basically doesn't hold the heat, but it also gives the board that much more strength and rigidity while still using an eco-friendly substance. And the last part is there's a resin layer on the top and a resin layer on the bottom. Those dual 6-ounce resin layers are what are used to cure the foam to the top and the plastic to the bottom. But those resin layers, when they do cure, they do harden, and it gives you that nice, strong, structured, rigid feel that this board does have, especially for a soft top. Get it in a nice big hot bag, we suck it all out to get everything nice, tight, get all the curves right, so the actual shape of the surfboard is on par with the performance-focused shape. Now that we know the guts, let's look at the bottom deck features. So as you can see, I'm going to try to move it a little bit just so you can see the reflections. There is a thick double concave scoop out of the bottom deck of this board. The reason why we have that thick double concave scoop is because this board, already at 8 feet 8 inches long, is a big board, and 23 inches wide is a pretty wide board. It's a lot of volume, it's a lot of surface area for the water to go through, and all we try to do with those double concaves is when that board basically greets the water, we want that water to come churning down one of those channels and back into the fins. Because the idea is that this board is going to be on rail or be on edge, and we want that board to be able to hold cleanly, still maintain its speed, and make sure these fins are doing the best that they can possibly do. Especially for a soft top, it's important to push the water to the fins, putting those fins to work. The other thing that you can see on the bottom deck of this board is our awesome custom plastic diamond weave material. So this is an HDPE plastic. It is a relatively stiff, but we have a couple layers so you can kind of feel a little bit of a press. The reason we're using multiple layers of that HDPE plastic is so that we can actually put this netting weave layer inside of there. The reason we do this netting weave layer is it's supposed to help with impacts that this board receives. So we don't want the impact to be as damaging to the one spot that it hits. The idea is that this netting will take that impact and help disperse that impact force across the board, basically making it less damaging to that initial spot that it hit, allowing this board to take more impacts over time, giving it that much more durability and length of use. I absolutely love this thing. If you have any questions on it, please don't hesitate to reach out. If you want the best performance shape combined with the most durable materials out there for a soft top surfboard, you're going to want to go with the 8'8" Premium Beginner Heritage Surfboard. This thing is an absolute beast in the water. It's incredibly durable. It's super fun and easy to surf with, and it's going to last you a long time. It's going to be there in your quiver for you and your friends to have a bunch of epic sessions with, and be there in the quiver for those days where it's just smaller and you just want to get out there and make the most of the session. So definitely pick up one of these. I highly recommend it. I know you're going to be stoked on it. I hope you do pick one up, and I'll see you out in the water. Cheers. Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. My name is Alex and I'm here at South Bay Board Co. And today we're going to be talking all about the 4'10" Wavo hybrid surfboard. So the 4'10", as you can see in front of me, Comes in a couple different colors. So this one's obviously the aqua with the black apricot bottom. We also are gonna have a black foam top with a bamboo bottom, along with a white foam top with what we call a cherry burl wood bottom. The 410 is 58 inches long, it's 21 inches wide at its widest point, and it's 2.85 inches thick at its thickest point. We have 37 liters of foam stuffed inside of this board. The foam is closed cell foam, so that means the board won't take on water if it's exposed to it. What's also really cool about this board is that it is CNC shaped, which allows us to get a couple of things built inside this board to make it really strong. So on the inside of this board, we'll kind of get into that before we go over the top and bottom deck. The inside of this board, being that it is CNC shaped, cut by a robot, we're able to have a nice single beam, I-beam stringer that exists all the way from nose to tail of this board, that also exists from top to bottom deck. That I-beam stringer, which we've coined it as, basically makes this board really, really strong and really durable compared to standard soft top boards that have floated stringers. That, combined with the closed cell foam, which is a little bit more of a dense foam, also makes this board strong. But what you can't really see on the top, which is obviously very clear in the bottom, is we actually have a wood body armor. So this is black apricot wood. We have bamboo and cherry burl option woods on the other color boards. But there is literally a full wood layer that's on the bottom and on the top deck of this board, and we call it our wood body armor. So the closed cell foam, the I-beam stringer, and the wood body armor makes this board not only very lightweight and durable, but also really, really strong and capable of taking heavy impacts. One of the other things that we do to help make this board really durable and long lasting is our patented heat release valve. And so what we have here is a patented system that combines the layers inside with our heat release valve system that avoids one of the biggest issues that we always see with soft tops. If you are interested in getting soft tops and plan to be out in warmer weather, don't waste your time on anything else. Make sure you get a board that does have one of our heat release systems on there. You will not be sorry. It's a very, very big value add. As we get to the bottom deck of this board, what we're gonna see obviously is our black apricot wood that consists all the way through. And what's unique about these hybrids, this is what gives them the term the hybrid. This is a hard epoxy bottom board, so it's not a soft plastic or a fake plastic. This is a real resin and glass bottom deck, and literally we have the same resin and glass on the top, but instead of just having the fiberglass sheets, we use the resin to cure the foam on top. So that's what makes this board a hybrid, is that you get the best of both worlds in being a soft top, but with a performance hard bottom with performance fins. So before we get into the fins, the fin boxes, and the other performance features of this board, let's talk about the top deck here and kind of go over some of those specs. As you can see, the 410 Wavo is basically like a little thumb, or it looks like a little nugget. It's very much like a skateboard out in the water if you really want to kind of get an idea for what it would feel like. It's very fun, it's loose, it's definitely meant for more experienced surfers. So big, wide squash tail on the back, almost as wide as the board. Obviously, this is going to be our leash plug right here that's resined in, so nice and clean there. And then you'll see on the top deck, this isn't just like a random texture, this is our custom fingerprint texture foam. So this is truly a wax-free texture. You do not need to wax these boards. You can literally take them out the box, put the fins, leash on, and you're right on the water, no issues. As we go across the top, you're gonna see we have our rubber die cut logo. We basically do this instead of a standard screen print like most other brands. This rubber logo won't wear off, it won't wipe onto your wetsuit, it won't bleed onto your car fabrics or anything like that. It's nice, clean, stays there, it doesn't erode away or smear onto any of your shirts or wetsuits. And then we keep the nose nice, big, and round up towards the top, just to make sure in this tiny little 4'10" shape, we're stuffing in as much volume and float as possible. Now as we get to our bottom deck, you're gonna see that we actually switched over our fins. We went over to the future fin boxes just because we found that these boxes tend to be a little bit more durable and don't break as often as the FCS boxes do. So this board comes with a quad setup. It will include quad fins with your 2 larger outside fins and your smaller keel trailer fins. As you can see, the Wavo also comes with a cool little egg logo on here with the Fu Manchu mustache. You'll see his bandana will change to match the color of the board just to keep everything clean. As we kind of go more into the shapes here, I'll just show you real quick top. Not a whole lot of rock in this board because it's a smaller board. So there's slight exit rocker in the tail, somewhat of a friendly nose rocker in the front just to keep that board from purling. But you'll see, instead of like regular soft tops where the rails are the same thickness all the way around, we actually have regular tapered rails, where the rails start out thicker in the center part and they slowly get thinner towards the nose and tail. That actually gives this board a hell of a lot more bite on the wave, a lot more performance focused, not just some chunker that you're trying to basically wad through the water with. Now on the bottom deck, it may be hard to see, But unlike most soft top surfboards where it's literally just a flat bottom deck, this board actually has a lot of contours to the bottom. So it's technically a single concave from pretty much nose to about basically the back third of the section, and then you'll see this concave turns into more of like a scooped out spoon, almost like bullet channel here in the back. Now because this board's so big and wide, we really wanted to make sure as that water was moving across the bottom deck, it got focused into a center spot and shot out the back, kind of like a jet piston would shoot fuel out the back, right? So all the water shoots right down here, gets concentrated, boom, right towards the center, and fires off the back of the tail. That gives this board a lot more speed and kind of control in your turns as you're starting to figure this thing out. It makes it really, really fun, especially once you get it dialed in. It's basically gonna be a great, fun summer fun board for those of us with a little bit more skill who want to get out in some of those kind of less than perfect days and still have a lot of fun on something new and unique. So with that, this is the 410 Wavo here with South Bay Board Company. I'm Alex. Feel free to reach out to us with any questions you might have. We're happy to help with any questions you might have. And if you're at all interested in the 410 Wavo and have the skills to ride it, I highly recommend picking it up. It'll be one of the most fun surfboards that you have in your quiver, guaranteed. All right, so with that, we'll see you out in the water. Cheers.